Yep.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at 6:31, Wednesday, May 12th, for our regular council meeting. I'd like to start calling the meeting to order with the adoption of agenda. We had one piece of correspondence sent to us, a late submission. Does council have any interest in looking at that tonight? Deputy Mayor?
Mayor, I am unprepared to read it. I just got it 25 minutes ago. If that late submissions come through, a text or something would be helpful in the future, but tonight I'm unprepared to consider that issue. Thank you.
Anybody else in council? Everyone agree? We'll look at it next time around. Actually, then may I please have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda as written?
So moved, sir.
Thank you. Any objection to that? I'm hearing none. Carried. Any disclosure of interest tonight? I'm hearing none at the table. Thank you. Moving on to the approval of the minutes. We have the minutes of the regular council meeting, April 28, special council May 3, special council May 6, page 4 through to 11. What are council's wishes?
Everhardis, I move to approve all three.
Thank you. May I have a seconder, please?
Councillor Smith.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Smith, Councillor Hudson threw her hand up just as you were saying that. So we'll get you next time. So moved by the deputy, seconded by Councillor Hudson, and it looks like we have all in favor of that. Perfect. Thank you. Carried. We have no deputations or present. I don't think we have any deputations or presentations tonight. Nope. Nothing on the variance report. We have the approval of accounts, pages 12 through to 18. Schedule accounts 9-2021 for an amount of 134.96. What are council's wish?
I move, excuse me, I move we approve it if I'm correct.
Thank you very much. May I have a seconder for that motion?
Councillor Smith.
Thank you very much, Councillor Smith. Any objection or any questions? I'm hearing none. It has carried. Staff reports 8.1, pages 19 through to 22. CAO report from May 12, 2021. Right, there are some recommendations within. We have to make some decisions here with respects to a request from Councillor Hudson to attend a virtual AMO meeting. And we need to select an RFP evaluation committee.
Mayor?
Yes.
I move that we accept Councillor Hudson going to AMO if she's willing to sit through a virtual conference.
Sure.
That's a benefit to all of us. So I move that we accept that recommendation.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? May I have a seconder, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, everyone, and the change, considering we had agreed on that at budget time. So thank you guys for the opportunity.
Looking at the budget, Councillor Hudson, there is allotment for $500 per council member there. This will go a little bit over that, but I don't think we're not gonna beat the $2,500. And if you have an interest and appetite to try to participate, so be it. So thank you very much. Looking forward to hearing what you come back with. So that motion carries. Thank you very much. The next motion is to select an RFP evaluation committee. So staff is proposing that, so if everyone can pull up the CAO report, please, and you'll see under the RFP service delivery review and strategic plan. So with that being said, staff has received 8 proposals as of Friday, May 7th at close to end of business. The RFP closes at 4 p.m. The proposals are sensitive time documents that need to be evaluated based on the RFP criteria. Staff is proposing that 1 or 2 members of council be part of an evaluation committee due to our current staffing circumstances. Deputy.
Mayor?
Yes.
Maybe a solution to the problem is we refer this to our operations committee to deal with at their first meeting.
I would say that's probably going to be appropriate motion, Deputy Mayor, but I just need to ask staff a quick question because there was a caveat in there with respects to time sensitivity. I just want to make sure that motion, Deputy, will line up with the needs of this RFP process, okay? So with that being said, will staff please let me know with respects to the time sensitivity?
I haven't really vetted them all. They're really, but there are timelines that they're proposing within. So it would be we propose to do this on June 1st and this. So there's that has to be maybe negotiated. You could negotiate with them, but vetting has to happen prior to and determining who the appropriate candidate is before that happens. As far as the committees, I don't know whether council's pressing on with those committees given the staffing situation right now, but I'll leave that up to you guys. Regardless, a meeting has to happen to vet them.
Okay, thank you very much. With that being said, I might as well just come up with it right now. We need to have a planning meeting next week anyways. We could slip this thing in before the planning meeting if everyone, since we're already going to be getting together for a planning meeting, we can slip this in and have a quick review of this at the same time. Maybe possibly prior to that meeting, we can just jump out of that, have that one first or after our planning meeting and go from there. So I'm gonna pull council right now on the planning meeting, and that might help set the tone for this RFP and the operations committee meeting. We might be able to kill two birds. So with that being said, the week of the 17th, we should have all the information back with respects to the site plan evaluation and comments from the developer from our previous meeting and the questions that council had within that meeting. So with that being said, I'm going to throw out, I don't want to say the night, okay, Wednesday. Do you guys have a library board meeting on Wednesday, May 19th?
No, but I have another meeting for union purposes on that day, as well as a COVID-19 shot. So I'm probably going to be pretty knackered on the 19th and 20th.
How about the 18th? How about does council have an issue with the 18th? And Gail, would that work with your schedule? Because I want to be sensitive to your schedule right now too. We talked earlier about setting up this meeting. I think it was Tuesday we talked about this. It was yesterday. Wow. And I just want to make sure that you think you would have the capacity on Tuesday the 18th.
Mayor.
As I get everything back.
Okay. So you think Gail? Sorry, Amber. I will get to you in just a second. Do you think we'll have everything by then, Gail?
We should.
Or would
have,
you?
yes.
Or would you prefer maybe looking at a Thursday?
Either one's fine with me.
Okay, Councillor Hudson?
What time are we thinking for the planning meeting?
I don't know yet. I'm still kind of working out a date, and then once I get a date, then we can work out a time.
Okay, sorry, the Tuesday is our last Girl Guide meeting of the year, and it's our girls' advancement. So I won't be available.
How about Thursday, May 20? That gives staff a little bit more time to prepare. Does anybody on council have any conflicts?
Mayor?
Yes?
I'm just going to put this one out here. Last time we had a meeting, we didn't have quite everything that we needed to proceed. Do we have a guarantee that all of the information will be ready to roll?
Well, it depends on guarantee. There was three takeaway items that I took away from that last planning meeting. We addressed them with the developer on Tuesday. Gail has since received some information. I'll tell you what we discussed and you tell me. We were waiting for a landscaping study to come in. It's come through. We were looking for comment with respect to the road and a pedestrian walkway. We will have that by then if we haven't already had it, plus a revised drawing. In addition, we questioned street lighting. Street lighting, we're waiting for comment from the streets department, and then we'll go from there with a discussion of council. Lastly, I believe we discussed hydrants, and hydrants are incorporated into the master plan, and we can review those details at that planning meeting. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Not off the top of my head, but if everything's there, that's important. I think also we did take some legal advice in public last time. Our lawyer suggested 100% pullback. Depending on the scope and cost of what we decide to do, we need to make that decision as well.
So with that being
50 or 100.
if you have any specific questions that I just didn't address there, Deputy, if you'd like to just engage Gail, she would be more than happy to make sure that information is provided prior to.
Perfect.
But I really do
Perfect.
think, I really do think, I had Gail part of this meeting, Deputy, just so I had a clerk at the meeting so we can make sure I didn't miss any details and nothing was misconstrued between
Good
my
stuff.
conversation with the developer. And based on that, we believe we did all due diligence to make sure that we will have a fruitful meeting and should be able to resolve any concerns or at least a clear path moving forward.
Just for timing, wouldn't it maybe be a little easier on staff to make sure everyone has everything if we go on the 26th? I'm looking at the schedule, right? The 20th and the 26th aren't that far. They're only 3 business days apart. That may make a difference in getting everything that we need. And we just do this before we hit our regular council meeting.
I don't fully think that I'll have the capacity to do this meeting before the 26th because I will have the council meeting to prepare for as well. Plus I have my work commitments.
Yeah.
So I'm not convinced I can fit 2 more meetings in on the Wednesday.
Oh, no,
night.
no. I'm suggesting that we put the planning meeting on the 26th with the regular council meeting. That's my suggestion, sir. Since we're already meeting, longer meeting, but we'll get everything done that night.
I would prefer a standalone meeting and I would entertain the week of the 24th. Understand that 24th is a holiday. The reason why, Deputy, is I want to make sure that we have all the opportunity to have a real conversation and that any questions have the time it takes to address them and we're not rushed with a pending meeting.
Then I move that we do that on the 25th then. That gets Thursday and Friday. The 24th is a holiday. And anything that needs to be ratified can be ratified on the 26th.
I'm all right with the 25th. It looks, the only other meeting I have is I have a meeting with the fire department on the 27th that week. And then the 26th for council. Yeah, I can do the 25th if council can do it. How does council feel about 25?
Yeah, that's
All right.
fine.
Kev?
I can do it.
Okay. How about this? Are we going to try to incorporate an operations meeting within the same time frame as well? Because we'll have to discuss the evaluation of the committee, and if possible, well, it's still pretty close to the 26th. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So can we have a quick operations meeting beforehand?
Yeah, let's do operations at 6 and then move into the regular meeting at 6:45.
Does anybody have an appetite to try to go a little sooner than that to try to maybe alleviate some of the is there any way we can get it closer to the 4:30 mark because staff will be working on the 26th as well for the regular council?
I can do 4:30.
How about anybody else? Can anybody else do 4:30?
I can do 4:30.
I could do 4:30 as well. Kev?
I can also, Your Honor.
Gail, do you have any issues with 4:30, 25?
No, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. So let's make it so. So we'll schedule a meeting for operations to start at 4:30 and immediately after that, we will go into our planning discussion. Is that right?
That works.
Thank you very much. I don't believe I need a motion for that. I think it's just, it's just going to happen. Okay. Lastly, I need a motion to receive the CAO report. Thank you.
Councilor Smith?
Thank you, Councillor Hudson. I'll take your motion. I'll take Councillor Smith as a second. Any further discussion regarding this report? I'm hearing none. Report has carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to pages 23 through to 78. 8.2 wastewater management report, water meter replacement, Town of Desmeraldo complete proposal submission. Council's wishes. I believe this is informational purposes only, is it not? Christine or Gail or Rob?
Also a
I
copy
believe
of
that
the,
that's a contract that we have to look at.
There's a bylaw to enter into the agreement attached.
Bear with me here. I'm just getting to the bylaw right now, okay? So I'm not wasting any time. I'm going to do something that apparently is not normally done. Can I have a motion, please, to put this on the table for discussion? Thank you very much, Councillor Hudson. Seconder? Okay. If I don't have a seconder, someone needs to make me a motion.
Deputy Mayor will second that.
Thank you very much. Okay, so it's on the table for discussion. I'm going to ask staff, because it's a massive document. I'm going to ask staff to maybe give us an overview of what we're doing here. Who wants it?
Well, it's a meter replacement program
Yes.
for the town of Deserano. And the company has given us a proposal or a contract to go ahead and a price to do all 700 meters in the town of Deserano.
Thank you.
What else are you looking for, Dan?
Well, I'm trying to find the bylaw. I'm searching through, and unfortunately, I'm having some computer issues, so I'm kind of just maybe stalling a little bit too. So bear with me here.
Bylaw itself is under item number 15. It's just
Yeah.
the agreement that's at the back of that.
So it's just the agreement. Okay, so we all know that we've talked about this. We all know that we have budgetary funding for this. This is the contract that is being proposed that we would go with. And Rob, you vetted all this and through with the rest of town hall staff, and you feel good about what you're seeing?
Yeah, I actually do. It looks to be pretty precise, pretty exact. Yep.
Okay. With that being said, what are council's wishes? Do you have, actually, does council have any questions? Because we have a bylaw to confirm this contract anyways, coming up on in around 15. So council have any
Mayor, I
questions?
do have a question.
Okay, deputy.
It's just sourcing. How many other companies in the area do this, and do we check out any of the prices?
We didn't go out for like an RFP because these are the meters that we have used for the last 20 years. This is the company that supplies the meters, and we have a number of these meters already in place. So it would have to be, we'd be switching out new meters that we already have in to go to something else.
Thank you, Rob.
So we're looking, so Rob, this actually came in a little under budget, didn't it? By
It
about,
did,
by
and-
about 25 grand?
Yep, and I'm looking at what we pay for the meters and what they're giving us to actually install the meters, and there's not a lot of difference in price. And I know that there's a bulk buying power there because we're buying 700 meters.
Yeah.
But if we were to try and do this ourselves, we'd be paying that much money per meter alone.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions for staff? Anyone else have any questions with respect to the process or the document that we're looking at? If not, I believe I can take a receive this because we're going to have a bylaw moving forward. Staff, can you please tell me if that's appropriate?
Yep.
Thank you very much. So with that being said, may I have a motion, please, to receive this? Thank you very much, Councillor Hudson. Do I have a seconder?
I would second that, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Clark. Any objection? I'm hearing none. Carried. Rob, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Okay, moving on to the Deputy Treasurer Report, page 79, 8.3, with respect to the new software. There is some action items in there and a recommendation from staff. I think this is a good recommendation. I know that we're trying to automate some of our processes and we're trying to make our service delivery better for our community. And I have to thank staff for bringing this to us because I do believe that there are many in our community that want to use services like this, and I think they would appreciate it. And it's a very, to me, I think it's a very affordable cost of $408 a year, plus I believe $17 a month, or no, that's $408 in total, plus any transaction fees based on our usage. So what's being proposed here, for everyone's sake, is that we'll be able to take credit card payments over the phone once this is done. And if I'm not mistaken, we should be able to use this for anything, right? Taxes, permits, anything like that. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Mayor,
that's correct.
I believe you skipped to the second report under the deputy treasurer. You would receive the Unisoft and make a decision on the credit card. There's two
Yes.
meetings.
Yeah, we're talking about the credit card right now. I just looking for clarification that by doing this, that it would work for most municipal financial transactions, correct?
Yes, correct. You can use it for anything.
Okay, perfect. So that's excellent. Thank you very much. The other recommendation is with respects to Munisoft.
Item 8.3 was skipped over in the deputy treasurer's report.
So I'm right on 8.4, Gail. Is that what's happened here?
That's what happened.
Okay, I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, well, nonetheless, I'm going to take 8.4 and then I'll go back to 8.3. So on 8.4, what's council's recommendation? Or sorry, does council accept the report with recommendation therein?
I do move that, and we move forward with the credit card system. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll take the motion by the deputy. Councilor Hudson looked like she had a strong second. Any further comment or clarification required? Any objection? Carried. Thank you. I apologize, guys. What happened there is I hit the wrong hyperlink and it jumped me to the wrong report. My apologies. Okay, so now we're back to 8.3, the financial software update from the deputy treasurer. It's really just a report to receive.
Yes.
I move that.
Thank you very much. May I have a seconder, please? Thank you very much, Councilor Hudson. Any further question? Hearing none? Carried. Okay, I got to right this ship. Back to 8.5. 99 through to 101 BISB reports for April 2021. What are council's wishes?
Your Honor, I would move acceptance of the report.
Thank you very much, sir. May I have a seconder for that?
Councilor Smith?
Thank you very much, Councilor Smith. Any comment? Yes?
Comment here.
Yeah.
Looking at the number of permits issued for Deseronto at this time, and the amount of construction work that is going on in the community, I know permits remain open for a period of time, but it might be prudent for us to do another blitz on what you need a permit for. I know we've done a social media blitz in the past, and I think that might be a good thing so people know that they can find the information clearly on the website. So the more permits we get issued, the better it helps everyone in the municipal world. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. To that point, we're actually kind of working on a municipal release right now, and this could permits and how to access permits and how to now with our new payment schedule or how we can make payments. We could add that. Would you be satisfied if we threw that in our next municipal correspondence for spring, summer?
I think that's a great idea, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. With that being said, may I have I have a motion and a second. I have a motion by Councilor Clark. I have seconded by Councilor Smith. We had a little bit of discussion. Any further discussion required? Hearing none. Carried. Thank you. Moving to committee board meeting minutes, 9.1 BISB, pages 102 through to 107. Council's wishes, please.
I move that we accept them.
Thank you very much, Councilor. Then may I have a seconder, please?
I would second that.
So that's for all three sets of minutes, correct, Council? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I have a mover, I have a seconder. Is there any comments or questions? I'm hearing none. Carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to 9.2, pages 108 through to 109, BESB meeting minutes.
I would move acceptance of those, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. May I have a seconder, please?
Councilor Smith?
Thank you very much, Councilor Smith. I have one comment here, and that is the fact that our CAO, who we all know is moving on, she sits on this committee. We should, how is that being backfilled with staff, or is just going to be Councilor Clark, you'll be able to continue to represent us on these boards?
Well, I can continue, but I believe that our acting clerk, Gail, could also attend if she wanted to.
Okay, so possibly what we should do is we should take a look at these open committees and find out who has capacity within staff and who would be best suited. Gail, is that something we could work on together to figure out that there's no gaps? Awesome. Thank you so much.
I have a suggestion if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Gail and I had a discussion about this earlier, and I just thought maybe Councillor Clark could keep her informed, or also Gail could keep in touch with the CAO at Sterling to make sure that all the information that Town Hall needs is directed through the CAO at Sterling. That was my suggestion in light of staffing shortage.
Well, thank you very much. So I think with that being said, I think what can happen is I'll work with Gail to come up with a interim solution due to staffing constraints, and we'll come back to council. We'll let you know what we're proposing, and that could very well be part of the proposal, what was being recommended here by the CAO. Is everyone cool with that? Comfortable with that? Yes.
Yep, I have no problem with that.
Thank you very much, Councillor Clark. We will be able to provide some further direction very shortly on that. Thank you very much, Christine. Appreciate the feedback. So with that being said, I have a mover and a seconder. Any further discussion? All in favor? Carried. Moving on, next we have the Quinte Conservation meeting minutes 110 through to 125. What are council's wishes?
I'll move that.
Thank you very much, Deputy. May I have a seconder, please, for that motion? Councillor Hudson, thank you very much. Any questions or comments pertaining to these? I am hearing none. It has carried. Okay, moving on to action items. 10.1, page 126. We have an inquiry from O'Sullivan Garage. So everyone can see the inquiry that's in front of us. They're wondering that what we will be doing with some municipal buildings once they are deemed either surplus or otherwise. What are council's wishes?
Your Honor, could I just ask what, either Christine or Gail, what the zoning is on that building at the present time?
Through me to staff.
Yes.
Sorry, Norm, I don't know offhand. I'd have to look it up on the mapping, and I've got too many windows open to do that right now. Can we report back?
Yeah, I'm just curious to what the zoning is. And the other question I would have is that property big enough to contain all of Devlin's vehicles, and what kind of reaction would the neighborhood have?
Councillor Hudson, you have your hand up. Deputy Mayor, you're second. Councillor Hudson, go.
I think I'm very supportive of this ask. I think that the property with how much work is being done with our transit buses and having the fences there, I think not only will it keep our fleet safe, but also be supportive of local business.
Thank you. Deputy?
Mayor, I just checked my handy dandy planning map. It looks like it's zoned community facility at this point. I think this would be a question that we refer to the operations committee once it's up and running. I think we do have a duty to evaluate all the property we own. Surplus property that isn't drying anything needs to get rid of. But I'm not sure we're quite there with this property. I can see us storing things, the transit buses. There'll be other community groups, I think, coming out of the woodwork with an ask there. So I think the first thing is to receive and file this and determine what we're going to do with that facility once it becomes vacated. Thank you.
If that is your motion, I'd like to tag on to that motion a little bit, Deputy.
I can make that a motion with your tag on, sir.
Okay, so my tag on would be that we inform the person who made the application or who made the inquiry that what our intent's going to be, along with the receiving and filing, letting them know that we're just not quite there yet. The streets department, they're going to have to give us some sort of time frame when we're going to be able to go to market, and then we're going to have to go through the process of deeming surplus property and finding out what our municipal needs are going to be. I do share a very similar opinion as Councillor Hudson that there may be a possibility down the road to look at these type of things, but I do agree that we're not quite there yet. So if you could help, if you could tag on that we get back to them, let them know, I would be good with that.
I'm fine with that, sir.
Thank you very much. So I guess the motion will be to let the person making the inquiry know that we're not quite there yet, but we'll let the person know once we have a go-to-market plan. Is that correct?
And we're referring it to the committee to look at. Yeah.
And we can refer to the committee for further discussion. Do you have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Hudson, thank you. Any further discussion or questions or anything from anybody else?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
when does the Town Works plan on moving into their new building?
I don't quite know yet. That's going to be something we're going to have to get confirmation. I spoke to the road supervisor about a month ago, and I believe that that they were in the process of getting to that point, but we're not quite there. So, Joe, are you still on? I guess not. So what we'll do, Councillor Smith, we're going to have to circle back and we'll get you an update on when we're going to be able to answer that.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir. Carried. Thank you. Moving on to pages 127 through to 128, action item 10.2, public health, West Nile preparedness. Council wishes.
Mayor, this is
Yes.
standard every year. Let's continue on to be prepared just in case. Thank you. I move that we go as directed.
Thank you very much. May I have a seconder, please? Councillor Hudson, thank you. Any further comment on this? Carried. Moving on to information items or items generally requiring no action, we have items 11.1 through to 11.7, pages 129 through to 151. I can take them as one complete if council wishes.
So moved. Everhardis.
I've got a motion. Seconder.
Second,
Councillor Smith,
Okay, I heard Councillor Clark, I think, first, so I'm going to take it. I saw Councillor Hudson, I heard Councillor Smith, so it's unanimous, carried. Thank you. Moving on to new business. 152 to 162, Otter Energy solar proposal. What are council's wishes? How would we like to start the conversation?
I can move to put it on the table for discussion.
Okay, we'll throw it on this table for discussion. I'll take it. Do I have a seconder?
Everhardis.
Thank you very much, Deputy. Okay, staff, to help move this conversation along a little more. I don't really see,
I was just simply approached.
yeah,
There is by a gentleman that it lives in or close to Deserano. He asked if he could submit something. I said, yes. We are looking at doing a roof on the arena. If the federal government would ever get back to us as to whether the grants,
Yeah.
the amendments are approved. I thought it would be something that council might be interested in looking at in conjunction.
yes.
There may be potential to put it on the new Public Works building or the water and sewer building. I don't know. But this is simply to let you know that this is happening. And if you want to entertain it, perhaps you have this company come and speak to council.
Okay, so thank you very much, Christine. I appreciate it. So we have two options here. We're gonna have the company come in, do a deputation to council, let us know what they're talking about, which would be very fair. And from there, if we like what they're saying, then we could ask staff to come up with possible solutions or possible buildings that something like this would be applicable, or we can receive it.
Mayor,
Yes?
I'm interested to finding out what they can do here. I think we have several buildings. I was mentioned Public Works, new building, old building, public library, community center, water and sewer plant. There could be something interesting that we could do that could generate some income as well.
Perfect. So you're going to make a motion that we receive this correspondence and invite them to propose a few dates that maybe they can come in and do a deputation?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. May I have a seconder, please, for that motion?
I'll second that.
Thank you very much, Councillor Clark. Any further questions or clarity required? Carried. Christine, thanks for putting that on there. There might be some opportunity moving forward. Thank you. We have no notices of motion, so we're going to go with announcements. I'm going to take the first person I see, and it's going to be the deputy.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I see Councillor Hudson.
No pertinent announcements with this week at all. Just hoping everybody's staying safe and healthy.
Thank you very much. Councillor Clark.
I don't really have announcements. I do believe that this is our CEO's last council meeting per se. And I would just like to say to Christine, thank her very much for the service that she had given. I thought she would have stayed a little bit longer, but I wish her well and all the luck in her new job, and don't forget us. So congratulations, Christine, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Clark. Councillor Smith.
I would just like to send my best wishes to Christine in her new endeavor and thank her for all the work she's done for us.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Christine, best of luck in your new posting. I know you're gonna do wonderful. And I'd like to reiterate on behalf of all of council, thank you very much for the last 2.5 years worth of service to the town of Desrono and to our council. It's a very new council, my first term as mayor, so thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you.
The only announcements I had was I wanted to set up the meeting, which I did set up a meeting. I want to let everybody know that I am working towards putting out a spring summer newsletter. So if any council member has anything that they want included, please toss me a quick note. Let me know. I'll make sure that we get it in there. And I wanted to just make mention about the CAO. So I think with that being said, I have no more to announce. Bylaw, we have a bylaw 15.1, page 163. It's a 39-21 to appoint an acting clerk. Deputy Mayor, would you read the bylaw tonight?
Bylaw number 3921 being a bylaw to appoint an acting clerk for the corporation of the town of Desrono. And I move that this bylaw be read a first, second, and third time and passed this 12th day of May.
Thank you. May I have a seconder, please?
I would second that.
Thank you. Any objection? I'm hearing none. It's carried. 15.2, 40-21 to appoint an acting treasurer. Page 164.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that bylaw 40-21 be read a first, second, and third time and come into the force this 12th day of May.
Thank you. May I have a seconder, please?
I would second that.
Thank you very much. Any objection? I'm hearing none. Carried. I'd like to take a moment, Deputy, before you move on to 15.3 and thank both Gail and Maura for stepping up into these very important positions for our community. I thank you both very much, and I want you to know in front of that you have full council support moving forward in the duties that you need to accomplish for our community. And once again, on behalf of all of Desrono, thank you for taking on these challenges. And we will get the staffing situation in order as soon as we possibly can. So thank you. Moving on to 15.3, page 165, 42-21, execute the agreement between the town and Neptune for water metering.
Mayor, I move that be read a first, second, and third time and come into force this 12th day of May.
Thank you very much. May I have a seconder, please?
Councillor Smith.
Thank you very much, Councillor Smith. Any discussion? Any objection? I am hearing none. It's carried. Thank you. Moving on to 15.4, 166 through to 179, we have bylaw 41-21 to include a building bylaw, Schedule A fee, Schedule B fee.
Mayor, I move
Yes.
that a first, second, and third time with a question.
Sure, I will take it. I need a seconder and then you can ask a question.
I would second it, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Clark. Deputy Mayor, what's your question?
Just to jog my memory, this is usually a bylaw that is confirming and conforming with the other municipalities in the BISB, correct? We
Yeah.
usually follow the same standards.
Yes.
Fantastic. Looking here, it's talking about demolition, permitting, sewer permits, plumbing permits, demolition, building permits, swimming pool permits. Under the Municipal Act, Section 142, there is a ability for a municipality to look at site alteration and permits required for that. Has this ever been discussed? Is there anything currently in our bylaws that allows us to discuss site alteration, mainly the placing and dumping of fill, removal of topsoil, alteration of grade, requiring a permit to be obtained for the placing of such, and impose conditions for a permit, including the requirement of preparation plans? This seems like a natural fit. Has it ever been discussed? Do we have anything on the books at this point? That is through you, Mayor, to the staff, if anyone can answer that question. I've had some concerns lately.
Thank you.
This bylaw was prepared in conjunction with the other municipalities. It's the one that's been in place, and this is the one that, well, the town has an older one actually in place, which is why this has come to play, because the older version, the newer version of this bylaw hadn't been updated at the town, and I think a couple of the other municipalities. Sterling has kept theirs up to date. It's just we've been working through a process to make sure everybody's the same. I don't believe there's been any discussion, but perhaps you could have the Councillor Clark take that to the next board meeting if it's something you would like to entertain at the board.
I think that's a good suggestion. Thank you, Christine.
Okay. So where are we at? We read it first and second. We have not carried the bylaws as of yet.
I move that we pass it. Where?
Thank you very much. Can I have a seconder, please?
Go to the third time. Yep. Thank you.
And can I have a seconder? I think I had Councillor Clark as my second originally, did I not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
And
second
any further discussion? Carried. Thank you. Okay, we're not going into closed session. We have no closed session tonight. Before we read the confirming bylaw, I'd like to let council know that my intent is we're going to be calling a meeting for the week of June 7th to discuss staffing measures. I've received a fair amount of correspondence from Hastings County, putting us, giving us some job descriptions from other places, a variety of different things to discuss. I'd like to have the opportunity to discuss that with both Gail and Maura and just have them take a quick look at those, and get them to filter out some of that stuff. So when we get back to June 7th, we'll be able to have a good conversation with some serious staff input of maybe some of our gaps and things that they would like to see moving forward. So I'm just want everyone know that I'm going to be requesting that we choose a date the week of the 7th, understanding the fact that we will have a council meeting on the 9th. The reason why I'm choosing the 7th is because of our commitment to staff, that we won't dawdle and that we will get out there. We're going to be in a very competitive market with 2 other local municipalities also looking for a similar position. So with that being said, I would like to get the conversation going. So just forewarning that I will be asking for council to select a date that week. With that being said, I'm going to move on to confirming bylaw 43-21 to confirm tonight's meeting. Councillor Hudson, would you like to do that for us tonight?
That the bylaw be read a first, second, and third time.
Thank you very much. May I have a seconder, please?
I'll second with amendment, please, sir.
Sure, I'll take it.
My amendment is that we strike the word special and insert the word regular.
Thank you. That's a pretty simple amendment. I'm sure that can be easily carried. I'm sure you're fine with that, Councillor Hudson? Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Any objection? Carried. Once again, best of luck, Christine. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Rob, for joining us. Thanks, Gail. Thanks, Maura. And everyone have yourself a great night. Motion for adjournment. I'll take it, Deputy. Second.
Counselor Smith?
Thanks, Councillor Smith. Everyone have a great night. Take care.